Hello, my friends. I come to you to deliver a warning. This content may be slower paced than you're used to, especially on a platform like YouTube. Anyways, let's jump into it. Hello, my friends. Long time no see. I come to you next to a piece that I just finished that I've been working on for 3.5, 4 weeks now. I've been very busy, and I'm excited to get into that with you guys today. First and foremost, man, right now I'm just like, I have all this energy coming through me, which is why I sat down to record. Also, I had what I perceived to be as something of a unfair event happen that I had to sort of stand up for myself a little bit with. And man, nothing will give me adrenaline like having to stick up for myself, I swear to God. But it's important every time you do that. It proves to yourself that you got your own back. If that makes sense. That's how I look at it anyways. Man. So first of all, let's talk about this piece, because that's kind of the big thing right next to me. I'm really proud of this piece, man. Nothing that I originally painted is visible on this at all. It went through many iterations over the course of 4 weeks. I mean, this form didn't start showing up until maybe a week and a half ago, maybe a week ago, something like that. And then I worked it into what it is now. To me, like, everyone will see something different in it because it's art and that's what happens. But to me, what I primarily see in it is, like, obviously you have the figure of the guy up here, and he's kind of got, like a vest and pockets and everything like that. And that's kind of like would be where his legs are, and these are his feet. And so there's that figure, but also here's an eye, here's like some buck teeth, and like here's like an ear and like a hat, neck, shoulders. Yeah, so I generally don't like explaining my art that much, but I had to explain it somewhat because if you can sort of like snap the image into your mind, I think that it deepens the picture a lot. It gives it a certain depth that if maybe you didn't see that, maybe it wouldn't have. But I really like the way that this turned out, and I hope that you do too. It took me a long time. I don't know what I'm gonna call it. I don't usually do names for my pieces, but given that this feels like a big one to me, I really pushed myself on it. I'm really happy with the result of it. So it feels like it deserves a title, but I also feel wrong giving it a title, so it might just not get one. But yeah, I feel like it very much represents technically speaking, it's kind of a culmination of everything that I've been working on to this point, which is figuring out logical ways to abstract form and also maintain a level of cohesion and realism, but not sticking to realism, like maybe like arriving at the sort of the feeling of it without the actual everything being correctly perfect on point, like trying to sort of arrive at something that feels real and has depth, but without following a traditional technique, trying to find sort of a new way to experience that, if that makes any sense. And so, like, one thing I like about this is that if you get really close to it and you look at any one specific section, it looks like flat and 2D. It just kind of, the depth of the painting just kind of disappears in front of you. But at the same time, if you then zoom out and you see the whole thing at once, then it has actual depth and perspective and things like that. Yeah, so that's this piece. I'm really happy with it. A big reason why I haven't been able to post in like 2 weeks is specifically I've been working on this piece very intensely. Yesterday I painted all day. The day before I painted all day. I think the day before that I painted all day. I think the day before that I painted all day. I spent a lot of time on this. But also something exciting, another thing that I've been working on outside of this piece is a project that I am calling Public Knowledge Radio. It was born because I loved NPR for a long time. Like growing up, I would listen to NPR like constantly because I like learning stuff. I like just the idea of not having to like go on YouTube and look up various topics, but just sort of like have a curated way to just learn stuff passively, which is what NPR was for me. But then right around the time that Trump got big, it became super politics, and we're not gonna go into politics right now, or probably ever, but I just don't want to hear about that shit. Like, it's not interesting to me. What's interesting to me is learning about, I don't know, science and physics and art and whatever the fuck. And so I tried to find something like that online, and I couldn't find anything that really fit it. Like, there was PRX Remix, which is like NPR minus the news, but at the same time, it was still pretty biased to like just the types of things that they were running. So I created this project called Public Knowledge Radio, and it's consistent of TED Talks and audiobooks right now. There's going to be more in the future, but just right now it's just TED Talks and audiobooks on various topics. Like, we'll have science segments and physics segments and art segments and mind segments and philosophy segments and all of these different things that are like 2 to 3 hour blocks. And I'll be the one on the radio like announcing in between, because every time I've tried to find something like that, it's just like a playlist of stuff. And so there's not like a person sort of like that feels like they're curating it there for you. And there's something that like, that's why originally I was paying a subscription for Sirius XM radio instead of just like to listen to Elvis radio rather than just listening to Elvis playlists, because you have somebody on the other end curating it for you, and also like they're there with you while you're doing it. It's just like, it's nicer. So yeah, I'm gonna be sort of announcing in between there. Gonna run 24 hours a day. It's gonna start as an internet radio station, then I'm going to make a 24/7 YouTube stream for it. Yeah, we'll just go from there. So if that sounds like something that's interesting to you, if you search up Public Knowledge Radio, I'll try to link it in the description as well, on YouTube, you should find the channel that I've created for it. I haven't posted anything yet, but if you subscribe to it, you'll be the first one to see when I go live. But yeah, that was something that it's really like, it's made for myself, but it's also something that I feel like a lot of people would benefit from, because I can't be the only person who wants to learn stuff passively and not worry about politics or like identity stuff all the time. Oh yeah, I've been thinking a lot about last week's video. I literally, to this point of recording it right now, I have not looked at YouTube at all. So I don't know if it was well received or if it was poorly received or if it was not received. But I have been sort of thinking about it, and I'm worried I went a little bit hard on certain topics. I genuinely view things as like, let people do their thing, let people be what they want to be, and you just sort of do your thing, and what anybody else does doesn't really have an effect on you. And so I've been thinking about that video, and I hope it didn't come across as like as complaining or like pointing fingers or angry, but yeah, it was just I was thinking about it, and I was like, man, I feel like, because the thing about like autism is that everybody's experience of it, it's going to be different. And so it's not like, the one thing that I've been concerned about with that video is I'd never want it to sound like I'm the Lorax for the autists. I'm not trying to represent anybody or any group of people other than myself, because I know that everybody's experience is different. I don't know. That's just how I genuinely feel about it. But again, I haven't seen yet at all how it was received. So this is based entirely on my own feeling about it. I really don't log into YouTube between posts at all. I used to, so I could like try to engage with people and stuff right after I posted, because I want people to feel like heard, and if my video affected you enough to comment on it, then you deserve a little bit of like my respect to be like, hey, thank you for caring about this. But then at the same time, if I'm on YouTube all the time, I get so logically, I know that what other people think of what I'm doing in any sense should not really matter. But I think as a human, it's hard to not let it subtly affect you, because it's not like I'm looking at anything and being like, oh, let me change my ways because of this. But then you notice if you pay too close attention to metrics and numbers and likes and subscribes and all of these things, then you start to lose why you did all of this in the first place, which is the art. It is like, I have said this before and I still feel very much this way, which is that art is not expressed in any specific medium. Art is like a experience, or like a communion with a thing that we can't see but we all know is there, expressed in various mediums. And so what I'm trying to do is, I'm doing it in paint, I'm doing it in videos, I'm trying to do it with this radio station. I've got a couple of future plans. I don't like talking about things too much in advance, just because I hate to be that guy that's saying like, oh, I'm gonna do this, and then, you know, if I do it, it's not surprising, or B, I don't do it and then I'm flaky. So I learned probably just talk about what you're doing right now. And so when I'm talking to you about public radio right now, that means it's very real. It is coming. It's just something that takes a long time. I need about 50 hours of content to sort of get things up and running for a 24-hour radio station, for it to not feel repetitive. And so I'm working on putting that together, because, you know, I could just slap it in playlists and then put the various, credits in the description or like on screen or something like that, and then just make it automated and fast, and I could get something out right now. But that is not what the vision is. The vision is a 24-hour radio station where I'm with you, bridging each topic, and we're going through all of the various interesting things you can think of. And so I'm not going to just slap something together. I'm going to work on it, and it's going to take time, but it's worth it to take that time to give you guys the best product that I possibly can. The one thing is, when this is completely done, it's gonna look more unified, because the way that I did the background is I hit it with like a black gesso. I hit it with a black gesso and some green acrylic paint, and I mixed those together and sort of did the whole background that way. Then to modify it to the actual hue that I had in mind, I did washes of oil paint. So I would dissolve a little bit of oil paint in a solvent and then build it up in transparent layers to sort of give it like a glowing but still like deep effect. I think it looks, I like it. I like it a lot. I can't speak for anybody else, but this feels like the culmination of everything that I have been working on since I started painting a year ago. Oh, here's something that I wanted to talk to you guys about, to give you a heads up on what you're going to be seeing next out of this channel. I had a interesting idea happen. So this right here, this is JADAM Wetting Agent. Know what JADAM is, you have to know what Korean natural forming is. And so to make this all very short, I'm going to give you the most brief explanation of what all of this is, so then I can sort of get into why I'm going to be making a video about this. So Korean natural farming is a way of farming that has been going on for thousands of years in Korea. And Korean natural farming is sort of like a series of processes now that people attribute to it, of like various types of composts and ferments and things like that. JADAM was made by the son of the guy who sort of like wrote the book on Korean natural farming. And JADAM is an ultra low cost, ultra low effort version of Korean natural farming. Well, not necessarily version, but it draws upon a lot of the same concepts. And so what this is JADAM wetting agent. Okay, so now we finally arrived to the product. It's not something I'm selling you, so don't worry. But it's like a surfactant. It's like a soap, natural soap type deal. You mix it with distilled water and you shake it up, and it breaks up the surface tension of the water. And so when you spray it on leaves, it creates a completely like even coating on the leaves. So that makes it really beneficial for adding nutrients to that. And then it can evenly coat the leaf, and it can be evenly absorbed by the leaf. And so that's what it's used for. That's what its primary invented purpose was. And what I found is, because I was doing all these washes, it works wonderfully to clean off oil paint off of paintbrushes, which makes sense because it's an oil-based soap. And it's very easy to make at home, and it's very cheap. And so I figured it would probably be beneficial to make a video on the recipe on how to do this, because there are lots of videos out there on how to make JADAM wetting agent. And you can look those up right now if you want to. But I'm not seeing anybody use this for cleaning paintbrushes. I'm seeing the vast majority of people using products that cost a significant amount of money. So I'm going to make a video on how to make this awesome soap that cleans your paintbrushes, and sort of approach it from that direction so I can help more people use this, because it's something that you can make at home. You do have to use lye, so it's a little bit like, you know, you have to be careful with that process. You can't let that shit touch your skin, otherwise you get chemical burns. But it's also like, I mean, soap making has been done with lye for centuries, probably. It's been done for a really fucking long time, because you can make lye just by straining a bag of wood ash with water. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about this. And this is a great product to clean your paintbrushes with. And if you can stop having to buy something from the store where it costs you a bunch of money, and you can start being able to just like make it yourself. You can get a thing of lye and canola oil and distilled water, and I'm pretty sure that's all you need to make this shit. But we'll cover all of that in the video about it, okay? I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. I'm very excited about it. I have a lot of energy in my body right now. That's where I'm at right now. I just finished this piece yesterday, so I am recording this video today sort of in the afterglow, while I was able to still explain a lot of the feelings and things behind it. If there's anything I didn't cover, I know I didn't really touch much on the emotional aspect behind it. I touched more on the technical aspect, but I think the emotional aspect is more in the eye of the beholder, because yes, this definitely represents how I've been feeling for the past several months at least, but at the same time, maybe it means something to somebody else, and I don't want to invalidate their perspective on it, because that is just as real as my perspective on it. Like, I just make a thing, and then however somebody feels about it is how they feel about it. That's the reaction, including myself. Like, everybody's reaction is equal. It belongs to the world now, it's not mine. First of all, if you're still watching, shout out to you. All right, my friends, I think that's it for this week. I'm gonna take a break after this and not paint for a couple days, but I'll probably be painting again by the time I post another video, and it's not gonna be that long. So peace.